So it's been 5 months without a video, and a lot has gone on. If you noticed in that clip before, there's only one car in the driveway. That is not without reason. And I'm going to try to keep this light and not get too emotional. That's why it was kind of a jokey thumbnail if you read the little annotation. But on some serious level, the reason there's only one car left, being the G6, back in March, on my way to wrestling practice, I got into a pretty bad car accident in the cruise. That was pretty bad. If you have looked on our Instagram, I made a post about it. And I guess I didn't realize how much it affected me for a while afterwards. I actually didn't even feel any pain the first night coming home from the scene of the accident, because I guess I was still in shock. But that took me out of wrestling for a month. What happened was I was going through an intersection to get onto a state route that I usually take to get onto I-75 to head south for wrestling. While making a turn, a Ram pickup doing about 10 over ran the red light and hit us. Us being me and my friend that I would take to wrestling practice. The two guys in the Ram pickup had us going about 70 miles an hour in a 55 zone. And we spun out through the intersection. He hit the front left tire and front bumper kind of together. He hit mainly the front end and crushed in the car, and then during the spin the back end crushed in the front left tire area, and then also hit our back driver's side door. I was scared in the moment because when the impact happened, the front left tire got shoved underneath to where my feet were, down by my pedals, like shoved through the wheel well. And due to the impact of it crushing the left side on the rebound where the back end of the truck hit us, my driver's side door couldn't open, like my driver door couldn't open. And I panicked in the moment because after we come to a stop, there was a huge cloud of smoke coming from the front of the car, and I thought the car was on fire. Thankfully it was not, to my knowledge. They didn't have to call the fire truck or anything. It was just, coolant, oil, and everything that was burning because the engine was hot. But in the moment I was panicking. Airbags had went off, and I was breathing in the dust from the airbag, as well as breathing in all the burning coolant and oil through my HVAC system, since we had the air on in the car at the time. And my friend that I was with, we both came to a stop, and I immediately was like, get out of the car. I could not open my door. I said to her, I was like, please just open your door, get out as fast as possible. I, while climbing over the center console, grabbed my phone, my wallet, my key, jumped over the center console, climbed my way out. I was coughing for 5 to 10 minutes. Thankfully, there was a off-duty sheriff that just so happened to be coming up to the intersection right after the accident, that pulled to the side and used his cruiser to kind of stop flow of traffic. Checked on us, made sure we were okay. I called the police. The state highway patrolman showed up. Dayton PD showed up. We figured everything out. It was a very traumatizing experience, but I didn't realize that till I kind of sat on it for a couple days. We eventually got the police report. We got insurance and everything handled. Obviously the cruise is completely totaled. I'm sure at some point in this video here, I'm showing pictures of the damage. I ended up having a huge concussion that I didn't even realize I had, and I never got a proper diagnosis for it. But I kind of fought my way through that. I've had concussions before from wrestling, so I didn't really think of them as concussions till after the accident. I just thought, I got my head ranked, whatever. But the next day, and probably about the next week and a half after the accident, I was having a hard time remembering things. I was having a hard time speaking. I was slurring my words a lot. I also had torn my right delt all the way across due to me tensing up right as the impact happened. I didn't have any time to react, which is good. It kind of blindsided me because I couldn't tense up my full body. But just the impact itself caused me to lock up my right shoulder down, basically. If I would have locked up everything, I would have been much more hurt, but thankfully I was mostly limp. But from the impact, I tore my right delt all the way across. I wasn't able to move my right arm for a full month. I had to go through a muscle therapist to help me do things to heal it up quicker, because I didn't want a long downtime from wrestling. Even though a month away from training really took me out, and really put me into a dark place. And I had to start therapy again, and work myself through the trauma I was having. Because for probably about the first full month, maybe a little bit into the second month, I was having vivid flashbacks and nightmares of the accident. And I knew it was traumatizing, and I know it took my parents by surprise as well. When I called them, letting them know that night that I'd been into an accident, I didn't realize the severity of it till the police report said that if it had been 1 foot to the right, directly impacting my front fender and my driver's side door, it would have been. They would have killed me on impact. And I think that was the hardest thing for me, was realizing that I came so close to losing it all. Not only losing just my life, but not doing anything with my life so far. I have a lot of dreams and aspirations that I want to fulfill within my lifetime. There's a lot of people that I want to make proud before I leave this earth. And having spent, at that time, 8 months straight, or 7 or 8 months straight, putting in long nights for wrestling, doing 3-hour round trips for training, for 5 hours a night, because I always stayed later than I was supposed to. I always put in extra work because I wanted to be better. And to almost have everything taken away from me was very eye-opening. And I started taking things less for granted than I was before. I started realizing that not everything should be taken so lightly. Being the people you're around, or the things you get to do day to day that you could never do again in a moment. Because even if I hadn't have died from that impact, if it would have hit on that side, I could have been paralyzed, and the same thing would have happened. I never would have been able to wrestle. I never would have been able to achieve the things I wanted to achieve. I'd never be able to build, cars again. I'd never be able to do anything workout related. Like, I'd never be able to be the person that I'm becoming and that I want to be. And that was a lot. That was a lot for me to process. That was a lot for me to think about, and I felt lonely. I didn't have a lot of people reach out to me after that. I think that's another thing that really hurt, is that I thought I had a huge, wrestling family of people that would support me. And I barely had even a handful of people reach out. So that was another eye-opening thing. It's like, all right, I'm on my own now. There's a couple people I can trust, but if I would have died, I took myself out of the current spot. I took myself out of my own shoes, and I thought, if I were to die in that moment, what would my legacy have been? And once I started thinking about that and realizing that I've done a lot in my lifetime, but I haven't done a lot of note in my lifetime, at least that's how I feel personally, I realized I had a lot more work to do. So I just wanted to let you guys know that is what's been going on past 5 months. Aside from just wrestling and work and being busy, it took a lot for me to just get my confidence back for my day-to-day life. Being in a very depressed cycle for 2 months of waking up and not being able to live my life because I couldn't function properly. Not only because I couldn't move my arm, but because I was just in a very low spot in my life, and I didn't have any confidence to do anything. I'm finally feeling like I'm getting over that, but I just wanted to let everyone know that that's what's been going on. This coming Friday on the 12th marks 2 years of the Burnout Block, which we will be having another video for. And I think that will be my restart. That'll be my chance now that I'm better off, now that I'm kind of back into the swing of things. That'll be my chance to figure out, okay, what do I want to do with this channel? Because I said that night, I'm not a super religious person, and no, I have no issue with people that are, but I do think that someone was watching over me that night. Somebody knew that my hard work was going to get me somewhere, and that my hard work was not done, and that I needed to keep working, and that's why I'm still here. But I just want to let you guys know what's been going on. Sorry for it being a super downer episode. I'm trying to bring it back up at the end here. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and actually talk about some other things other than my accident that has been going on. What are some things that I want to do coming up soon? So with the cruise gone, we're currently in the search for a new daily driver, or just new car in general, that I will be dailying. The G6, I don't know if you guys could tell by that first clip, it's very loud right now. That is because the flex pipe rusted through. So it's essentially open headers right now, which has been very annoying to daily drive to Dayton and back, because it's super loud on the highway, not only because the exhaust is rusted through, but because we've also stripped out the car. So not the best daily driver right now. She's also got a pretty bad oil leak, so we got to get that fixed. But I'm hoping within the next coming weeks to get the custom exhaust made, to get that wrapped up, and to get the car ready to roll for the summertime. I need to get the rust fixed as well. The side skirts, as I've talked about before, are super bad. So we need to get those patched up. We need to get the bodywork patched up on the driver's side quarter panel where it's bubbling up, because that's only going to get worse. So we will fix that as we go on. I'm hoping to get to Kilcare earlier this season before it gets super hot out, because it's starting to creep up into the mid to high 70s. I know that's only going to become more consistent as the season goes on, so hopefully we can get there soon, get a good couple runs in while the temperatures are still somewhat low. We have new merch that will be coming soon. I'm not going to put anything in this video yet because I haven't finalized the final designs, but keep an eye out on our Instagram because our spring/summer 2023 merch will be coming out soon. It will definitely be t-shirts. There's a couple other ideas I have. Check our Instagram stories because I'm going to be doing some votes on what kind of merchandise we should do. So keep an eye out for that. Other than that, if you guys have any kind of suggestions for things we could do to the G6, or any kind of suggestions for cars I should look into for my next daily driver, please either shoot us a comment down below or shoot us a DM at the Burnout Block on Instagram. Other than that, we'll have a video coming out for the 2-year anniversary. And again, sorry for such a mostly downer episode, but we are getting back into the swing of things, and I just want to say I love you guys. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for helping build this community. As small as it is right now, we're getting there. We're going to keep working. That is the goal for 2023. The rest of 2023, we are working. Hard work only. So thank you guys very much for watching. Follow the Burnout Block at the Burnout Block on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Make sure to subscribe. We will see you next time.